What is up, guys? My name is Carson, my wife's name is Sammy, and we are the Complete Couple. It is a couple days after we arrived back from Alaska, and just kind of wanted to go through a recap with you guys. It was an absolutely incredible trip.
So pretty.
So we are going to kind of do just a little voiceover here, take you guys through our trip and give you guys some tips and tricks, some recommendations, some things that we may change if we were going again.
We're gonna go over embarkation, some food, some of the shows we went to, getting off the boat, getting into Canada, what you gotta bring.
So stick around. I hope you guys enjoy this short, sweet, and to the point video. Again, we appreciate all the support. Remember to like, subscribe, give us a comment, tell us what you think, and we will see you guys here soon. For those of you that are just interested in the cruise, we're gonna go ahead and do Seattle at the end of the video, so we're gonna get right from flights and embarkation. So we went ahead and flew Delta. One thing I will tell you, there was no delays or cancellations both ways, which was really good. Quite a few other airlines that had delays or cancellations. We got lucky with no issues at all. Tampa Airport, quick and easy. I will tell you, they're coming out with this brand new technology where you don't have to take anything out of your bags. So it was really nice. Tampa Airport had that. We left everything in our bags, went right through security. It was kind of cool.
In the Tampa airport, we went to the Columbia restaurant for breakfast, which was surprisingly actually really good for airport food. I think he had like a breakfast Cuban. I had scrambled eggs with breakfast potatoes. Everyone really liked their food.
Cuban was fantastic.
Yep, great service. I would definitely go there if you're throwing or going out of Tampa. So get your to-go alcohol so you can pregame the flight. That's what we always do, as you can see here. Probably a little too much of it, but you know, makes the flight smooth even if it's not.
All right, so flew into Seattle. That was super easy. We went ahead and had a car actually waiting for us in Seattle. I will tell you this, it made it so nice and easy. We had a shuttle bus pick us up from the airport. It got all 7 of us. It took us right to the hotel. So as far as embarkation, one tip I'm gonna say is it comes to Ubers. If you take an Uber and a Lyft, get expected to drop off in a secondary drop-off area, which they have shuttles that you load to then get dropped off at the port. Taxis, also a great idea. They also drop you right at the front. As far as waiting, we waited about 2 hours from start to finish. They did not check our check-in time as much as they warn you that they're gonna check your check-in time. They didn't. Everybody just got in line, went right inside. And make sure you downloaded all your cruise documents. Internet, there's zero internet inside the terminal. Once you go in that building, you couldn't download anything. My wife told me 10 times to download all my cruise docs. I didn't, and then they were waiting on me, so it was a nightmare. So make sure you have all your stuff pre-downloaded. Some cruise lines give you your keys at embarkation. Your keys on Royal Caribbean are not given to you there. They are actually waiting for you at your stateroom.
Make sure, obviously, you have your SeaPass, your passport, your vaccine card, and your COVID test. I would fill everything out online. It makes it so much quicker. There's a lot of things that you don't necessarily have to do before you get there, but I would do anything you can online.
All right, so next we're gonna jump into a real quick ship overview. Overall, I'd say this ship is absolutely beautiful. It's well kept and clean. Great layout. Starting on 3, you've got the casino, music hall, main dining rooms. Jump to 4, most of your Royal Promenade and shops, also main dining rooms. Go up to 5, specialty dining, other amenities. You've got the piano bar and also where you look at your photos. And then pretty much between 6 and 14 is mostly staterooms. So then you jump up to 14, you got your windjammer, all your swimming pools and the solarium. And then you go to 15, which is a fun Seaplex area where they do go-karts, the flow rider, and some of your outdoor activities like rock climbing and iFly. So those are gonna be some of your main decks on the ship. Just to go over, the Seaplex was a blast. They did dodgeball and bumper cars. That was fun. One downside of the ship, the internet is terrible. So if you're looking to pay for the internet package, streaming, you couldn't even stream, and we could barely send a text message or a message on our GroupMe apps. So internet, not very good. Do outdoor activities on your first sea day. The last sea day, they shut all outdoor areas. They locked the doors. You could not go outside. So make sure to do all of your outdoor activities day number 1. Bionic Bar was fun. If you have the drink package, it's free. Go check it out and make yourself a drink. You can make 10, 21. It's fun. Solarium, another great area. I would go there for departing and watching the glaciers. Those are great. I would say the casino, good size casino. Remember, on the last day, the casino closes at 3:30, so turn in your chips. Overall, again, great ship. Cleanliness, fantastic. Little downside, internet was terrible. All right, guys, so quick overview on the buffet. Starting in the Windjammer. One thing that is nice, they make everybody wash their hands before they enter the Windjammer. A line does form. Sometimes the Windjammer is at capacity, so you have to wait in line to wash your hands until people leave. Breakfast was good, however, it's very repetitive. A couple of the items change every day, which are specialty, but most food repetitive. Lunch and dinner, in my opinion, was pretty below average at the Windjammer. If you're looking for a lot of options, that's where you should go. Again, Windjammer buffet, lots of options. My recommendation would be Cafe 270 on deck number 5. They do breakfast and lunch. Breakfast, made to order bagels. You can choose what you want on your bagel. Was absolutely beautiful. For lunch, they do an incredible roast beef sandwich. The line actually got pretty long for lunch, so something to think about.
Surprisingly enough, some of the best food on the ship is the pizza place, which is actually located on the promenade. Honestly, every piece of pizza was fantastic. I would definitely recommend going there, especially with kids. Also, the main dining room food was actually really good this time. You know, some are going to be hit and miss, obviously. My opinion, the risottos and the pastas and any of those steak tenderloins are really, really good, really well cooked. Again, you can order whatever you want, as many items as you want if you want to try it. Our server was fantastic. Don't know about everyone else's, but overall, our service was great.
And then going into lobster night. Lobster night is the last night, your last sea day / formal night. So last sea day / formal night is lobster night. Definitely worth going. Put it on your calendar for that day. You can get as many lobsters as you want. It was fantastic. Classic dishes in the main dining room. They stay the same all cruise long. So if you want to try something special, do one of their revolving dishes, which is some of their more specialty stuff. They change every day on the cruise. Other than that, again, food, hit or miss depending on where you're at. Windjammer, a little repetitive. Main dining room, a little bit better. All right, so now we're going to discuss entertainment. The two major shows are Pixels Cabaret and Live Love Legs. I would say these are on par with many of the other major cruise shows we have seen in the past. Pixels Cabaret is more of a futuristic sci-fi show with lots of moving screens. And Live Love Legs is actually more of a cabaret show and has more adult content. Shows in the theater allow for more ample seating. We showed up late multiple times, however we found seats. Music Hall and 270 fill up a lot faster, so if you want a seat here, get there early.
So the game shows are personally my favorite. We attended most of them, and Canyon even participated, I think, in a couple of them. They're always funny, the staff is very entertaining, they're very lighthearted and fun too. Watch, but they are in smaller venues. This ship, it's at Boleros, and a lot of the trivia is at the Schooner Bar. They are little, so get there early if you want to participate. Karaoke is almost nightly in the music hall. It's a great time, but again, it's a big venue, but it does fill up fast. They usually only accept about 12 singers per karaoke session.
Lastly, if you like bingo, I would do bingo on this ship. We've played many times in the past and the prizes are always minuscule. On this ship, they're actually nice, large prizes, big turnouts, get there early. Also, make sure to do silent disco whenever they allow it. It's an absolute blast. And then the last night they do a disco party. Make sure to attend that. Lots of fun. Now on to our ports of call. For our first port of call, we were in Sitka, Alaska. Make sure if you need internet because the internet on the boat did not suffice, stop at the Crab and Chowder restaurant right off the port to grab a quick lunch and free Wi-Fi. Next, we did the Alaskan Bear Adventure and Silver Bay Homestead experience. The bears there were absolutely incredible to watch and interact with. They'll wave at you and you can appreciate them. Very active and beautiful. Then we enjoyed a scenic boat ride through the Alaskan wilderness and finished at the homestead to enjoy a salmon and pickled bull kelp cracker, s'mores, and a stunning hike. Make sure to bring your binoculars to enjoy all the beautiful bald eagles in the trees. Our favorite pair is linked down below. Now on to our second port of call, which was Skagway. For our cruise, we were able to dock right at the port. In Skagway, we did the White Pass Scenic Railway. This 2 to 3 hour train ride takes you up through the original Klondike Gold Rush Trail to appreciate all the stunning scenery. A tour guide will inform you of the important landmarks along the way. At the end of the ascent, you will pass over the Canadian border before heading back to Skagway, Alaska. Pro tip, you do not need a passport for this part of the trek. The train then takes you to the town where you can enjoy some great shopping and great food. We stopped at the Red Onion Saloon, which used to be a brothel, and you can do a $10 tour of the old brothel. And then we did lunch at the Skagway Brewing Company, which was amazing food and great local beers. Don't forget to stop and shop on your way back to the cruise ship.
So the next morning is the Dawes Glacier and the Inside Passage. Personal little pro tip, it's a good idea to place room service the night before just in case the Windjammer does fill up that morning, because most people do like to go up there and try to view it while getting breakfast. If you don't have a balcony, maybe try to go to the solarium to get some really good views. That's a great place as well. The scenery here is absolutely stunning. There was a ton of icebergs. However, we were not able to go all the way up to the glacier. I think it was because of all the icebergs and things like that, but you could kind of see it in the corner. They say that it starts at 5 a.m. I would personally recommend 6:30 because that's when you really start seeing glaciers and that kind of stuff around that time. Also look for seals on icebergs. We saw a couple just chilling out there. Use your binoculars for that. And my personal favorite spot, as you can see, is the hot tub in the solarium with a screwdriver to take in those views. Even out of the Inside Passage, it's still beautiful.
Don't forget the Baileys and hot chocolate, honey. After the Inside Passage, you will port into Juneau around 12:30 to 1 o'clock. We booked a whale watching and Mendenhall Glacier tour through Royal Caribbean. Unfortunately, there is zero coordination once you get off the ship. So make sure you look for the corresponding tour ID that matches your group leader's sign. Once you're on the bus, you will head straight to the whale watching tour. The boat sells beer and wine for purchase as well as snacks. The boat was sold out, but luckily didn't feel overly crowded. There are an abundance of whales to watch breach the water, blow mist from below the surface, and see their incredible tails majestically curl after a beautiful swim. We also got to see a baby whale constantly wave and splash the ocean. You truly never know what you will see. You will then venture to the Mendenhall Glacier. You will have roughly 1 hour here, so get moving. I recommend to take Nugget Falls to get the best views of the huge waterfall and bright blue glacier. The walk takes about 40 minutes round trip, so enjoy the hike and the beautiful views. After Juneau, you will have a long and potentially rough sea day. My wife took Dramamine and had motion bands, unfortunately, the entire day. And let me tell you, she is not normally motion sickness. They had barf bags out for your using, and they were pretty much empty by the end of the day. The seas were so rough that they had to shut down all outside activities. So pro tip, make sure you get those done on the first sea day. The bumper cars line was long due to this. I recommend playing bingo, as it is on the lower decks and lots of fun. We also won, which was a nice bonus. Remember, lower decks equals less motion.
The next day, you're going to eventually arrive into Canada. The morning is pretty much a sea day, so I recommend playing games. We did a selfie scavenger hunt with the family. That was actually pretty fun, so if they have that, that's a great idea. Also, little tip, remember that the gift shop pharmacy on these boats is very small, so bring anything you can think that you might need because there's not many options, especially in that pharmacy in particular. When you do arrive in Canada, for us it was at 5 p.m. and we had to be back on the boat at 9 p.m. so it was a short day. They do have a $15 bus that takes you downtown and it's right outside as you get off the boat.
And that's round trip.
Yep. Canada, absolutely beautiful. Now I will tell you this, they did not check our arrive can on our trip. I don't know if it changes, we still did it, but no one did check our arrive can when we arrived. There were actually some really great restaurants. You may want to call ahead for, I think there was one called El Terrazzo. Looked and smelled amazing, but they were definitely booked up. We went to another Italian place called Fiammo. It was absolutely fantastic. I had a carbonara pasta that was to die for, and the other pastas as well were amazing. On your way back, you can hit the Quasars Arcade by the bus. It was really fun, had some retro games and pinballs and things like that. So overall, Canada was great.
Now we're going to move on to specialty dining and shops. On previous cruises, we have tested out Jamie's Italian and Chops, which are both on board. This cruise, we tested out Wonderland and Izumi. Izumi does not have hibachi tables, just a pro tip. So if you're looking for hibachi, unfortunately that's not an option. They do have fantastic sushi, which we tested out. Wonderland was amazing. A very whimsical and creative appetizer, a beautiful and incredible main course, and a tableside dessert that's fun for the entire family. As far as shopping, there's more shopping on this ship than I've ever seen prior. Makes it fun to pass time and enjoy the afternoon. The timing is a little odd as they're mostly open, not in port. Plenty of handbags, jewelry, and Alaskan souvenirs to take home to loved ones. All right, guys, so now we're gonna discuss disembarkation. Real quick, the night before, they're gonna leave a color-coded and numbered luggage tag that you need to put on your luggage if you want it carried off the ship for you. Make sure it's outside the night before prior to 11 p.m. The next morning, they're gonna call your number, and that's your timing to disembark. The Windjammer is open till 9 a.m. for breakfast if you'd like to hang out, which is nice if you have a later luggage tag. We were off the boat in about 20 minutes, and nicely, our luggage was waiting for us. The taxi line seemed to be long, but it did keep moving smoothly.
All right, now a really quick Seattle recap for those of you who are flying in there or want to spend some time there before or after your trip. First thing that we did that we really liked was the Space Needle. I wasn't sure if it was gonna be worth it, but it was totally worth it. The views were amazing, and it was actually worth the money and a really good time. In the Space Needle area, they have a really fun playground for kids, or as you can see here, big kids like us who still played on it for a very long time. We also took the monorail to Pike's Place, which was really fun and had some really nice views, and I wanna say it was only a couple bucks per person to take it. We did a food tour at Pike's Place, which did make it easy to see and taste a lot of options. Pike's Place is very busy, but it is a very fun time and very unique. Make sure you go to the original Starbucks down there. They have lots of gifts and souvenirs and of course great coffee and a specialty blend, which I did try. One thing I just wouldn't recommend overall was the wheel on the pier. The line was really long, and by the time you get out there, there just wasn't that much to see for that long of a wait. But overall, it was a really cool and eclectic city. 2 days was absolutely perfect to see the Space Needle, Pike's Place, and a couple restaurants along the way.
All right, guys, so that right there was our short and sweet Alaskan recap video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We want to touch on a couple key points that we may not have touched on in the video. One, we want to talk about occupancy. So Ovation of the Seas has a double occupancy rate of 4,200 passengers. There was 4,190 passengers on our cruise. However, with that being said, some rooms having 4 passengers per room. The max is 5,000 passengers on the Ovation of the Seas, which makes it an 85% capacity for our cruise. I will tell you, it felt like a full cruise to me. There was people everywhere. I've been on past cruises where it was running at 1,200 passengers, less passengers than crew on board. And when on those cruises, it felt like there was less passengers. On this cruise, it felt like a regular cruise. There was people everywhere, the bars were full. I will tell you, the staff handled it well. I never waited for food, I never waited for a drink. Everything went smooth, but just know the ships are back to normal. So masking is optional on board. I would say there wasn't much masking on board. So for those of you that are wondering about that, the masking on the ship was very minimal. On to another subject, the arcade. We had pre-bought 2 arcade cards. It was 20% off, so we spent $80 to get a $100 credit for the arcade. We've been on many of ships. This was probably the smallest arcade for a large size ship that we've been on. And about, I'd say, 20% of the games were broken on the arcades. We actually went down for one of our cards and got a refund at the concierge desk. There was not enough games to play for both $100 game cards. So something to keep in mind. So on to embarkation. 1, remember your EMED COVID tests. We're on Royal Caribbean. There's talk on Norwegian that they're gonna do away with pre-testing. However, on Royal, you still need to test beforehand. They make it very easy with the Abbott EMED tests. It's all proctored. You do it right at the comfort of your home or hotel room. But make sure you go on and get the proper tests. You have to get an email with the validation of a negative COVID test before you can embark. Also, the COVID test has to be within the last 48 hours, so 2 days before your cruise departure. In regards to pre-cruise departure, one of those things you want to do is the arrive can. Ours was not checked, but better safe than sorry. Make sure you do the arrive can, that way you're ready to go. It's easy. You can do it on one app and upload like up to 10 people on that same app. I did it for our entire family. It was a piece of cake. You need your passport, you need your vaccine card, and you need date of birth and things like that. So super easy to do. Next thing I want to talk about, binoculars. I, for one, say get binoculars. There were so many things you get to appreciate that others don't with binoculars. Seals on icebergs, bald eagles in trees, bears, just the overall beauty of Alaska that you can really get a close-up photo with. So if you want to appreciate the Alaskan wilderness, wildlife, buy a pair of binoculars. And we are going to link our favorite ones down below. They have an attachment for your cell phone, works great, something that you may want to pick up before your trip. Next, I want to talk about dirty clothes. On these long cruise ships, the cruises give you an option for $35. You can fill an entire bag, and the bag was probably 12 inches wide by about 20 inches long. It does take about 2 days to wash though, so if you're leaving on Friday, get it ready on Wednesday. You have to count how many pieces you put in your bag. I think we fit 40 pieces of clothes. Now, that's boxers, that's socks. But I did put a lot of my long pants in it. We put a jacket in it, and it makes it so much easier for $35 to have some clothes finished before you head back to town. God forbid your flight gets delayed, you've got clothes, something to think about. All right, so another thing that we're gonna touch on, and my wife, she is begging me to talk about this. She should be over here doing it herself because she's so giddy about it, is her poll of the days. So if you have friends, family, kids that love to interact with other cruisers, it's a great way to make your cruise experience even better. We linked it down below. It is just a magnetic whiteboard with colored markers that are also magnetized. We found out some people got engaged. We found out what everybody's favorite port was. People on our own decks came down, was asking us what the poll of the day was gonna be, and people really enjoyed it. So her recommendation for you guys, link down below if you wanna pick one of those up. Now we want to talk about a couple of dislikes or things that we would change on the boat. One of them, the internet package was terrible. I own a business. I'm a big person that I need internet. If you got to do business or you need to use your internet to contact family members, good luck. I would say it was slow at best. We have the GroupMe app. We've done it on many of cruises. It's normally really quick and easy. This would take 10 minutes to send one text message through GroupMe. So something to think about. I don't know if it's necessarily worth the bang for your buck. The internet package, I definitely wouldn't purchase streaming. That didn't work any better. People were going up the last day and complaining to the concierge how bad it was, and I don't know what happened, but you know, that just tells you we weren't the only one having that issue. Our cleaning service on our personal stateroom was below average. My parents said theirs was good, mine was terrible. He didn't go above and beyond at all. I've been on many cruises where they go above and beyond. Our guy was just average. Who knows, maybe they'll just get back into the swing of things with a lot of people on board, but our stewardess was average at best. All right, next, my wife wants to talk about some disorganization. As much as I think the staff handled the service aspect fantastically, a couple places were a little slow and disorganized. Day number 1 and 2, main dining room. We had a 7 o'clock reservation and it took us almost an hour to get seated. And they said that was pretty standard when we were on the cruise. An hour plus wait for your designated main dining time. Something to think about. It did lighten up day 3, 4, and 5, but first 2 days, get there early if you wanted to get seated for dinner on time. We missed a couple shows because of it. Number 2, the shows in general, a lot of the trivia and game shows were very disorganized. I don't know if they knew what was going on yet. They seemed slow and not necessarily on their game. Some of the hosts didn't understand the questions that they were asking us, so a little disorganized on things like that. Made the game shows a little less appealing to attend. One last thing that I want to go over is Canada. Now, you may have different times, but for us, we were there at 5 and had to leave at 9. I first want to talk about dinner. So the main dining rooms and buffets are open from 5 to 9. So if you were planning on going to explore Canada and not have anything to eat, when you get back on board, the only thing that is open is the pizza. And let me tell you, I wish I would have gotten a video of it. The pizza line that night was probably 35 minutes long to get a slice of pizza. So either get a really late lunch, early snack, or come back knowing you're gonna wait for pizza. Or go to Canada and eat something there because the food was fantastic. But don't plan to come back on the boat and eat the main dining room buffet because you will be disappointed. They are closed. So overall, the cruise was absolutely incredible. Royal Caribbean always does an incredible job. We've done Norwegian, we've done Carnival, we love them also, but you can't go wrong with a Royal Caribbean cruise. Remember to watch all of our other content. Click the links below. If you're interested in the essentials you need to bring, remember to click down below for those links. If you got any questions, leave a comment, hit that like button, and we will see you guys real soon. If you want to stand out on a cruise ship, come dressed like us.